Hello everyone, welcome to Love Talk, the program that shows that communication is always at the center of successful relationships.
Today we are going to talk about arranged marriages. Most of us would associate this with previous generations or even to other countries other than the UK. But what if we told you that this is still something that happens on our doorstep?
We all picture arranged marriages with two people being set up by family members and the prospective bride and groom having very little to say about it. But what if we told you that although research shows this is sometimes the case, there are also a small number of people who see an arranged marriage as a bona fide way of getting hitched?
Some people go as far as saying that an arranged marriage is no different to asking your friends to set you up on a blind date. You still get your say after you meet the person for the first time, but it's like someone has done all the background checks for you, which makes your work a whole lot easier.
Later on in the program, we'll introduce you to a couple who had an arranged marriage and consequently felt like two strangers at home. But something happened which totally transformed their marriage, and they now have a beautiful, loving relationship.
But before we do that, here are some relevant news. A program that caused quite a stir in the US is coming to this side of the pond. Three couples who have never met each other are matched by experts and meet at the altar for the first time as they are getting married.
This social experiment has gained as much criticism as it has viewers. It shows how couples who take part in this form of arranged marriage can make things work if matched based both on their interests and goals. Here's a snippet of the show.
Courtney Hendricks, meet Jason Carrion.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
The brides and grooms, total strangers.
Do you, Monet Bell, take Vaughn Copeland to be your husband?
And their first words to each other?
I do.
I do. I do.
I do.
I do.
Yes.
These six brave souls agreed to this extreme social experiment last March for the reality show Married at First Sight, allowing four self-proclaimed relationship experts to find their perfect match. After 5 weeks, the couples have a choice to get a divorce or stay together.
I want to stay married.
I want to spend the rest of my life with you. We've decided to get a divorce.
For the two couples who stayed married, the cameras never stopped rolling. Now, a new spin-off show showcases their first year of marriage. Back on their big day, 32-year-old Doug Henner and 28-year-old Jamie Otis weren't seeing eye to eye.
Couldn't have been happier seeing someone that was just absolutely gorgeous.
This is the worst feeling, and I just happened to be not attracted to the guy.
I feel so bad.
And the days after that, no honeymoon.
We were married like 2 weeks, and he lied to me about something really, really silly. He used to smoke, and then he had a cigarette.
A small marital spat that highlighted deep trust issues.
I don't know, for me, I was like, 2 weeks in, you're lying about that. What are you gonna lie about a year later?
Lucky for them, there was help on hand.
You learn how to argue and how to talk when you're upset, and how someone will receive, what you're saying and how you say it. We're very lucky that we have a chance to speak to the experts.
As well as game tape to review.
We also have a chance to reflect back and see how we were in these moments.
The two decided to tough it out, even moving to a new home, hoping they'd fall in love.
It's gotta be hard to hear, I'm not in love with you. And he's like, have you ever been in love with someone in a month?
Like,
give it time.
Sorry, lady. It's mommy and daddy time.
Unlike Jamie and Doug's rocky start, Courtney and Jason felt an instant connection.
We played a lot of 20 questions. We stayed up a lot, talking, and didn't sleep a lot, and that's really how we got to know each other.
Didn't sleep because you were talking.
Well, sometimes.
Well, I'm just gonna go drink my coffee.
But married life soon became very real for the aspiring makeup artist and her firefighter husband.
We have been under so much stress. We're trying to get settled into our apartment. Jason's in the academy. I can only handle this for so long. Crap's everywhere.
Things reached boiling point when Courtney lost her job.
We're super awkward right now. This is really uncomfortable. We're sitting here in silence and I don't know what's wrong.
It's like this, the tornado, it just happened. The whole job thing.
They called in the experts.
I think, honestly, the honeymoon stage is gone at this point.
Courtney and Jason are at the brink. That they both lost a lot of the connection that they had, and in order to reconnect, they have to keep romancing and wooing and keeping their relationship hot, because if they can't find quality time, their marriage won't survive.
Did your mom decorate that?
Yeah, my mom was like a master.
Ultimately, it was a family tragedy that brought this couple together.
My mom had lung cancer, and she passed away. I kind of wish, I really would have, got to her.
If it wasn't for Courtney, I don't know. She supported me. I mean, where there's dark, there's light. And, Courtney's my light, and she shined on me through this whole thing.
We are not really sure how genuine things are when the cameras are rolling, but the fact of the matter is that as far as we know, two of these couples are still together.
So rather than discussing the merits of an arranged marriage, today we're going to talk about whether truly learning about someone with an open mind can help develop true love.
There may be things in life that you can't live without, or that you love with a passion, that perhaps started off as a very slow burn. Somewhere along the line, you just fell in love with that, and now you can't live without it.
Whether it's a hobby, a friend, or a TV show, like Love Talk, of course, sometimes the same happens in relationships. Some people develop a relationship with someone they never found that attractive, and at some point, a spark lit, and that led to a long-standing, loving relationship.
So if you are watching us now and you famously used the quote that you fell out of love with your partner, there could be a chance that relearning about that person all over again could reignite whatever was lost.
This was the case with the couple we will meet after the break. Don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back. Welcome back. So let's just put something straight right now. We're not going to talk really about arranged marriages, whether this is right or wrong, although there is this new kind of culture now where people seem to accept that someone finds someone for them. What we want to find out or talk about right now, rather, is that, there is this thing, Leonard, that people say, I used to love this person, but something went wrong, I don't love her anymore, and we fell out of love, or we drifted apart. Mm-hmm. But I think sometimes people quit things very easily, and if there was a little bit of an effort sometimes, perhaps you could just learn or relearn to understand that person, to perhaps love that person again.
Yes, I even think that some people use that as an excuse. Mm-hmm. Because let's be honest, a happy marriage requires hard work, sacrifice, compromising, and so many other things. And sometimes the person just wants to give up that easily. And it is possible for you to mm-hmm. learn to love, not learn, but you can love the person you are mm-hmm. with.
And you
marry the person. Yes. Remember when you first got together, mm-hmm. how excited you were while you were dating that person, when you got engaged. What happened? Probably chances are that the person got distracted with other things, other things, other trends, and then, you want something new. And then this is very negative.
Yeah, and I want to say something. I don't personally agree with this thing of falling out of love. Okay, you don't fall out of love. What happens sometimes is that because you stop investing in the relationship, whether it's a marriage or a long-term civil relationship or whatever it is, of course, if you stop investing in something, it's going to fall apart. It's like your body, right? You may be the fittest person on the face of this planet, but if you stop exercising, you stop eating right, your body is going to start to look completely different. Yes. And for you to bring it back to how it was before, you have to put a lot of hours in the gym or eating right, seeing a nutritionist, all these kind of things. And a relationship is no different. You have to spend time making things right. And you're not going to do that perhaps in a week or a month. And also both have to be willing to do that together.
Absolutely. And I think that one of the main things as well, one of the things that makes people grow apart is pride. Because you will never agree. We don't always agree.
Yeah, we disagree a lot.
We disagree quite a lot.
A lot. But we also agree a lot.
We
also.
agree to disagree many times, and that's it. That's the end of it. And we are different people. And what I see is that many couples that we talk to, they have a very hard time forgiving, a very hard time letting go, humbling themselves, and say, listen, you're right, I'm sorry, you know, I'm having a bad day. But no. And then the thing is, it's like a snowball. You did not apologize today, you will not apologize tomorrow, because it gets harder with time.
Yeah.
And then you start, you know, a gap gets created between you two. And when you realize you are miles away from each other, but you can come back together, you can build things up again.
And everything starts with a decision to say, you know what, I'm not going to look at this person and highlight all the flaws that they have and all these stupid things that annoy me. Because if you were to highlight yours, maybe you have a lot more stuff that you do that is more annoying, that is more problematic than the things that she does or that he does. So sometimes it starts with the decision to say, you know what, I have a person here that has a lot going for her. What if I start focusing on all the positive points that this person has? Sometimes it's about being thankful for the person who's with you.
Absolutely.
A lot of times I've heard people, Helena, who say, oh, my husband or my boyfriend doesn't remember our anniversaries or Valentine's Day, all this kind of stuff. And how negative is that compared to the fact that he's a great husband, a great partner, a great father, provider. Although women don't need men to provide anymore. Let's just open those brackets there.
Yes, but it helps. You feel safe. You feel like you have a man, with you. You know, you can trust him. He works hard for the family. But you know, something also that I notice is many people say that, oh, I'm just going to move on, find someone else. Let's go our separate ways, as if in your next relationship, you're not going to face similar things. You will. There are things that never change.
Absolutely.
You need to apologize. You need to work together and sacrifice.
Absolutely. Guys, for us to finalize, stop. Guys and girls, right? When I say guys, I mean both. Stop saying and looking at all the flaws, right? Stop looking at the flaws and look at the positive sides. Let's go and meet today's couple, Jay and Vani. They're going to do the love quiz. Let's see how they fare. And following that, the 3 most annoying things about your partner.
Hello and welcome to this week's quiz. I have with me today Jay and Vani, and we are about to find out how well they know each other. The rules are very simple. I will ask you each 5 questions and you only have 10 seconds to answer each one correctly. Today we will begin with Vani. Are you ready, Vani?
Yes, ready.
Are you really ready?
Yep, ready.
Good. So let's go. Vani, question number 1. What does he love to watch on TV?
Sports.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. Question number 2. You only have 10 seconds. What are you most likely to argue about? 10 seconds.
Money?
No. You ran out of time. He said opinion.
Oh.
You know, when I think he likes to be heard, in his opinion, and then there are some clashes sometimes. Very normal. Question number 3. What was his first ever job?
He works in a casino.
Correct. Very well. Question number 4. What's his hobby? You should know this one. Come on, 10 seconds.
Play music.
No.
Play guitar.
No. You ran out of time. He said sports.
Oh.
Yes. Last question. Are you ready for this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Where did you go on your first date?
We went, I think we went for lunch together at his sister's place.
No. You ran out of time. He said a Chinese restaurant.
Oh.
I hope this does not end up, in an argument. But anyway, it's Jay's time now. Jay, are you ready for your questions?
Yeah.
Are you? Let's see how well you will do, okay? Question number 1. What is her favorite, what's her favorite kind of movies? What does she like to watch?
Indian movies.
Correct. Well done. Question number 2. What's her favorite lipstick color?
Red.
No.
Purple.
I'm going to accept that one. Yes. Yes. I don't think you will know the name of the shade. You know, you are a man after all. But you did really well. Question number 3. What is a favorite food? 10 seconds.
Pasta.
No.
Chinese.
No.
So like cakes.
You ran out of time. She said biryani.
Oh, okay.
She loves biryani. Question number 4. What is her shoe size? You've got to get this one
Number
right.
5.
No.
6.
Correct. Last question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
What is her favorite place to visit? Anywhere in the world?
Mauritius.
No. You're
Brazil.
No. You ran out of time. She said Spain.
Oh, right.
And the score is 3-2. Well done, Jay. You did quite well, actually. And Vani, don't worry, you also did really well. Well done to you both. Well, for those at home, let's join James on the sofa and let's get to know this couple a little bit better.
I'm talking to him and he's saying yes, yes, yes. And then, so I can do this. Sorry, what did you say? So you didn't really pay attention.
When I'm not heard, if I'm saying something and then she just cuts, she doesn't actually give time to listen to me, and I feel very annoyed about that.
Jay liked to turn everything into a joke. Like if you're talking to him, and sometimes I come to him and I say something very serious, very, very serious, and then he just turned it into a joke. It's like, I need an answer. I'm serious here.
And second things, most annoying about what my partner do that annoys me is setting the alarm off by the room gets too hot or too misty and the alarms is set off, and I get annoyed about that because it happened quite a lot of time.
He likes cooking a lot, so he'd spend a long time cooking. He will cook and he would spend like maybe 2 or 3 hours cooking, and then by the time we sit down to eat, it's like everyone is like almost sleeping.
She tried to stick to sort of, if I'm saying something that, I want to do, I want to sort of, eat, and then, or rather not, if I say something like, okay, let's watch that program, and then she sort of like, say, okay, let's watch that program, and then she suddenly just changed her mind. So it's like we've agreed already on certain things, and then she changed her mind, she could like go back again. And that, I feel very annoyed about that, and I tell her.
Welcome back. So we have the couple of the hour sitting here next to us, Jay and Vani. How are you guys?
Hello.
Hello. Fine, thank you.
Jay, well done. You won 3-2.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We were expecting a 5, we gave him the easiest questions, but consider.
Well, at least I won.
At least you won.
Main.
And your prize is the satisfaction. Of
I thought it was going to be something I received.
No, that's it. That's okay. All you get. Okay, now guys, you have a very interesting and amazing story because you had an arranged marriage, right? Yeah. So I want you to tell us first of all how that happened. I mean, how did it start? How did you end up getting married through someone arranging this marriage?
Right.
You start, Jay. Jay, you start.
Okay, I won, so I'm the one.
That's right.
I see why I won now. Right, interesting. I mean, this is not something I think that happens every day. Mm-hmm. It's not something that we hear as well every day, or maybe something very old, arranged marriage. And I think not a fake up. It happened exactly like an arranged marriage will be. Because I remember that I was on holiday. I was not planning anything. Well, I wish that I would sort of meet someone one day and extend a relationship and get married. I think like everyone do when you're growing up at a certain age, you started thinking about this. So while I was on holiday, my dad just said that we're going to look for someone for you.
Just like that?
Just like that, yeah.
Let's just go and find someone for you.
No complicated things. We're going to look for someone for you. I said, all right, yeah, because it's my wish as well to meet someone. So then my dad knew Vanny's uncle. And no, it's not Vanny's uncle. Vanny's uncle was a friend of a friend of my dad.
Let me ask you something. When you were asked, when you were told by your dad, we're going to find someone for you, were you open to that idea?
I was open. I kind of like keep it okay, like an okay. Let's see.
Let's see what happens.
Let's just see how it goes. I may say no, I may say yes. We may develop something, or it might not go forward. So
and you wanted someone anyway, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Anything can happen. Like, let's see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see the lady.
Vanny, with you, I mean, were you told the same thing by your family? We're going to introduce you to someone. How was it?
Well, for me, it was. I was in my final year at college at that time. I think a course that I was doing. And then one day I came home and I could see that everyone was very serious. It was like, okay, what's going on? Oh, your dad's find someone for you. What? Yes, someone that's going to get married to you and, you're going to be very happy. What?
How old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
I was 21.
Okay.
21 at that time. And I don't think I was very happy about it at all.
So you weren't as open to the idea as Jay was?
No, not at all, because, us ladies, we always think that, we're going to meet that person, we're going to fall in love with that person and
you're going to bump into someone and, he's going to help you pick up your books. Just like
exactly,
in the movie.
You drop your books, he picks up your books and you make eye contact.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then it's like, okay. And then my everyone was like very for it, like, yes, my sister, my mom. The only person that was a bit like, okay, what's going on was my grandma. So I had grandma on my side. So for me, it was like, my grandma said, look, if you're going to come to the house, you're not going to get married yet to the person. So you see, if you like the person, you say yes. If you don't like the person, you say no. Okay. So that was how I accepted for Jay to come and see me.
How many times did you guys meet in person before you got married?
In person. The very first time we met was when our parents came. Both our parents was there. And that's when they were agreeing, like, we were seeing each other for the first time. After that, I think just a few times,
not many times.
Not many times at all.
That was the only time we met. And then I remember you came to my place. I went to your place. You came to my place. That was the second time.
Yeah.
And I think we didn't meet after that.
Because he came back to England, and I was in Mauritius, and then all we did was communicate.
No. We met. We went on a date. You remember that? After that, we asked the parents if it's okay for us to go for a meal out, and then I came and meet you, and I was at my sister's place, and I took you there. Well, just 3 times.
About 3 or 4 times.
I have a question. What did you think the first time you saw him, and vice versa? What was it like?
When I saw him, I thought he was a bit arrogant.
So that's out there, guys. You just heard that.
That shocked me.
You know about that. I just thought that he was a bit arrogant because I didn't like the way he was looking at me. Because he was just like really looking at me, and I was like,
well, let me see the goods.
Maybe because he liked you. And what was your impression, Jay?
My impression is I don't know Vani very much. I just saw her the very, very first time, and I thought it was not going to go. It was not going to work.
It's quite strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Situations a bit awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't know each other very well. I said, maybe it's not going to work. Well, again, we'll see. So I was quite open again.
So now the picture is this. You met each other in person three or four times maybe, corresponded via letter. Perhaps there was no email at that time.
Not at that time.
Right?
No Skype,
and then you got married.
Airmail.
Yeah.
Airmail.
Airmail.
Now, then you got married. I know that you went through a lot of problems in the beginning of the marriage. Tell us about that. What kind of problems? Maybe you start, Jay. What kind of problems did you really go through at the beginning? How bad was it?
Well, as you can see, we landed very strange, both strangers. Although with the arrangements of, get the wedding and all that, person to person, we are both strangers to each other. And we just landed now on a platform of, a relationship. And, it's like doing the mathematics from the beginning, learning, 1 + 1, like that. It was like that, and things were not going on well.
No.
I don't know when, how to overcome, when she's upset, how to help her, or she doesn't know how to help me, when we are not, we are not understanding each other. Yeah. So it was like that, almost sort of, we could say 75% of times, we were walking, we were not really close to each other, even when we were walking.
Yeah. Did you feel like two strangers, Vani, in the beginning?
Totally, yes. I mean, when we just got married and the time we were in Mauritius, the honeymoon period, it was fine. We had families together with us, and it was fine. But once we came to England, Jay was working in a hospital in Cambridge. So that was far from any family that we had in London. So when he would go to work, I was on my own. I didn't know anyone. And when he would come home, I'll expect a lot of things, for him to fill in the gap of my parents, just to have, but then he was quiet, and no, it wasn't working at all. And we didn't know each other at all.
Yeah.
And what was the worst point of your marriage? The point that you felt if something didn't happen, it would have been finished. What was the worst point?
I think the worst point, I would say that when we were not feeling the bond, the love, with each other, and I started having different thoughts. I think we need to end it. We need to, seek for, to speak and say, oh, hang on a minute, are we going to go like that, or we put an end here? I think that's it, because the love was not there. That's why was my very low time in the relationship.
Did you used to talk about how you felt, for example, you, Vani? Did you? Because I know women usually we have the need to, okay, this is how I feel. Okay, please do something about it.
I don't think
Did you used to talk to him about how you felt?
Not very much, because at the very beginning I got that if I would explain too much, he would not pay attention, and he didn't like me explaining very much. So, and then also myself, I didn't understand really what was going on. You come in a marriage, you have all these ideas that you're going to be very happy, it's going to be like this. And especially I've seen my parents, it was an arranged marriage as well, but they love each other very much, and their marriage was very successful. So in my mind, I thought that, okay, they had an arranged marriage, it works very well, my dad loved my mom. Automatically that's going to happen to me as well, but no.
But did your mom give you some tips, things that you could do, things that perhaps she did? I mean, did
Not
she
really.
give you
But
some...
I don't think they because
had
we were
time,
abroad,
isn't it? Yeah.
we were far away from them. There was not
much communication.
I mean, I would have thought that
Fault.
maybe, well, I would have thought that maybe they prepared you before the wedding.
Didn't have time because
Wow, that was a
So
very...
you just said you jumped off a cliff and you had to
That's
sort it
it,
out.
yeah.
Guys, we have to go to a break, but what I want to do is after the break, you know, you said, Jay, something very interesting, that when you first got married, you would walk on a street and you wouldn't even be close to each other. And we can see now in the cameras that you are very close to each other. You're holding each other's hands, and, which is great. Otherwise, you would be on the wrong show, right? right now. But we want to find out what you did to change things, because we're not here advocating arranged marriage or saying that it does work or it doesn't work. We're going to find out what you did that made your relationship change. You went from not loving each other to now, I suppose, loving each other, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Yes. So we're going to find out what happened and how you did that. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll hear from Jay and Vani about what changed their relationship.
Arranged marriages are statistically proving to last longer according to experts. We've come to the streets today to find out just what you have to think about the subject. Have you ever heard of a show called Married at First Sight?
Yeah.
You've seen it before? You've seen it, sorry.
I've seen it on TV, yeah.
What did you think of it, and would you ever do it yourself?
Well, no, I would never do it myself because I don't really agree with like seeing someone and just getting married. Like you need to know the person, like you need to get to know the person, see if you really like them. There's no point just getting married, it's not going to work.
What do you think about arranged marriages itself? Do you think people who get placed in arranged marriages have to work harder to keep it together because they were put together?
I think in the context of our own culture, if you're resigned to that and that's part of the normality, the parents or society would have thought that this person fits together with the other person well for this reason, or to keep some sort of social status. So if that's important, that's important for the people that are marrying as well. So that could work. I don't think it necessarily is more difficult.
Do you think you can learn to love someone after marriage?
I think it is possible if you find something about them that, you know, there's obviously good aspects of everyone, like, you know, so I think it is possible in a weird way. I think, you know, if you do learn to love someone and, you know, if they're not a horrible person, which is always good, but I think you can find the good in people and, you know, learn to love someone, even though it's going to be that little bit harder, but I think it may be possible.
You're married to someone and you have problems, and then you say you fall out of love with them. Can you learn to love them again?
I think yes. It depends how hard you want this relationship to work, and if people talk to each other, then it's possible. Because we tend to just keep things to ourselves. So I think it's possible.
Do you think arranged marriages are a thing of the future or a thing of the past? Because before we know that people used to get put together, but now do you think with the single population rising, that it's now a good thing that people are being arranged?
It's kind of 50-50 really, because I think it used to happen a lot, but then because of all the, I think in England anyway, because of all the different cultures, I think it happens a lot more. And I do think that's a good thing. But then I think as well, you've got the whole career-driven women thing. So a lot of women aren't thinking about getting married. Like before they'd get married like 16, 17, 18. And now I don't think people get married till like they're in their 30s. So I think it's just depends on your like background and culture and religion.
Welcome back. So today's guests had an arranged marriage and lived together in the same house but didn't love each other. But something changed, right? So, I mean, guys, I don't know who to ask this question to, but what happened? What changed? What did you decide to do? Who's going to start now?
Well, I think we went to look for help. We had to look for help, isn't it, darling?
Yeah.
We had to look for help.
How long after, if you don't mind me asking? Because you got married, how long did this go on for?
I think it was for a good 8 years.
Oh, okay.
We've been married, this year is going to be 19 years. So for a good 8 years, I think, until our daughter was born, I think, something like that. So we went to get help. we had lots of advice sessions, isn't it?
We attended
Attended a lot of
few advice
sessions.
sessions.
And then we started to put it in practice. But what I noticed from that was that how Jay was fighting for it. He was fighting for the marriage. Like, he was very open for, like, whatever they were saying to do, he would be very open. Okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And that kind of like encouraged me to stop looking at only his mistakes, at only what he was doing wrong. Because that was basically what when I would go to work, I'd be angry with him because he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. So I started to like look at him in a different eyes, if I may say, with different eyes. And I started to focus on what I like about him.
What do you like about him?
Well, I like
did
that
you find
he's
out that you
very
like about him?
caring. I like that he, you know, he's a family man, so he would stay at home, he will help out. He even help out with the house duties. He likes cooking.
He likes to cook.
Yeah, he likes cooking, which is a plus.
And make a mess in the kitchen.
Yes, we're not going to talk about that now. He looks after my daughter very well. These are the things that I like about him. So I started focusing on that. And instead of me like sort of criticize, like he likes to eat noodles. In a week, he would eat like 3 or 4. Instead of me saying, oh, noodles again, I started to enjoy what he was eating. And little by little, instead of him having his favorite food and me having my favorite food, it started to be kind of like our favorite things. And
so his reaction to the problems, like, oh, you know, the positive way of thinking, like, you know, let's make this work, kind of attracted you to him in a way, right?
Yeah.
I think what has really helped is that, you know, we would start learning. You know, before we didn't know, I mean, how to solve certain issues, certain problems. When we were facing it, it was like, you know, we didn't get the answer that we want, we didn't get the response that we want. But when we were supported by, you know, things that the advice that we were getting, and we were putting into practice, and it was helping, because then, you know, I started breaking myself into, instead of, you know, what I'm expecting, or what I should appreciate from somebody else, like to be positive.
So it was like you having to, because it's what we usually say, you know, at our seminars as well, that there isn't such a thing as a school for love. You know, for you to learn to love, to be a married woman, a married man, how to treat your spouse and all these things. So that advice really helped you kind of open your eyes on, you know, oh, maybe she would appreciate for me to, you know, be more talkative and give her more attention, because, you know.
Definitely, because, you know, solution is what we want. And through the advice, with the, you know, the marriage course that we were attending, we were getting solution. We were getting ideas how, you know, how to go about these things. And and we were, you know, starting then to build up a relationship that did not exist.
And to enjoy it.
And we started to enjoy it.
How is the love? How is the passion now?
I mean,
I hope that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that to her, I mean, probably this morning or some time ago, that when I would be traveling, you know, I don't really want to travel. But just the fact that, you know, there are certain sort of, you know, important things to do, then I have to travel, because otherwise my mind is in the family, in the marriage, and I keep, you know, sort of thinking of it. And I love every moment to be with her now. Where before it was a complete, like, sort of, you know, we were like, don't know each other.
Like flatmates, isn't it? Like flatmates.
Partner, we don't know each other. We'll be like a friend. But we've from that, we've been able, with the support that we've been getting and all that, we've been able now to develop a very good relationship, and we are sort of, you know, enhancing more and more towards
So you fell in
knowing
love.
each other more.
That's great. So it is possible to learn to love someone.
Yes.
Guys, thank you very much for being on the show. We've run out of time, and we've been trying to get this couple here on the show for just about 6 months. But somehow,
if not more.
somehow Jay's traveling or something's happened, but you're here. So thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Okay. And before we finish, something I wanted to say in today's program that is very important. You know, before you quit a marriage, before you give up, we didn't do this program to advocate whether an arranged marriage is a good thing or a bad thing. That's not what this show is about. We wanted to talk about the fact that it is possible for you who say, I've fallen out of love with someone, I don't love this person anymore. It's possible for you to learn to love this person again. If you fell in love with them once and then you fell out of love, you can fall in love again, perhaps if you try.
And something very interesting that Vani just mentioned was she was focusing on the negatives because she was like, I mean, she didn't know how to be a married woman, how to go about things. Suddenly she found herself in that situation. So from the moment that she learned how to make it work, you know, the attitude changed, and then she fell in love with a man that she didn't know was there all along.
So before you call it quits, before you say, you know, this is damaged goods and it's not going to work anymore, perhaps it is possible for you to learn about this person, find the positives, and perhaps make this work. I'm sure this won't be the case for every marriage, for every relationship, but certainly there is one or two out there that this show would have helped tonight. It's been a pleasure to be with you. Before you go, here's a date Helena and I went on. As usual, we have to do this every week. It's our job, and we don't go on dates because it's a job. We love it.
Yes,
and we
do.
hope that you enjoy watching it as well. Till next time, have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
So we're at the beautiful St. Catherine's Dock, and today we're going to be taking part of a cookery masterclass, and I'm looking forward to it. What about you?
So am I. Let's see if James gets to cook a bit more often.
Yeah, that's what Helena wants to get out of it. She wants to get me in the kitchen a few more times a year,
No.
not a week.
I really don't. You are a bit too messy in the kitchen.
But it should be an interesting experience. So let's see. We've never done this before, but I would imagine that it's something interesting for couples. So we're going to see if it's something we enjoy doing together. I'm sure we will. And,
it's a great idea.
We'll report back to you at the end. Let's go.
Hello everyone, we are at Anne Smart School of Cookery today to learn how to cook a dish which we actually happen to like a lot. And I'm here joined with Anne. Hi Anne.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having us.
More than welcome.
I'm so excited about this, and I want to know a bit more about your school. Could you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, sure. I started the cookery school 7 years ago now, after appearing on MasterChef. And it's grown really massively. It was a hobby, but now it's a good over 100 hours a week, which I think any chef would tell you. And we have lots of different people coming in every day to learn some fabulous dishes and how to cook, which hopefully I'm going to do for you today.
Do you also get a lot of couples?
An awful lot, yes. We have lots of single evenings and dating evenings so people can learn to cook whilst they're meeting somebody.
How competitive do couples get?
Well, it's best probably not to have them both together behind the cooker at the same time, especially with the knives. And you keep this hand crabbed and out the way so you're not going to cut your fingers off. And you just take the top of your onion off like that. All done. Stand it up flat now, so it's all safe.
Okay.
Yeah. Then you're going to put the knife in the middle of the root, and you put your hand over the top of the onion, not at the side in case your knife slips, and just push through with your knife.
That's a good idea.
It's still alive, it's still got all fingers.
So when you're going to move the onion on your board, turn your knife upside down and scrape it so you don't blunt your blade.
Okay.
Yeah?
So we've been doing a lot of things wrong in the kitchen for a while.
Okay, for many years now. We clear as we go along.
Okay, what are you trying to say? She's trying to tell me something.
If you can just cut your pepper into quarters length way. Now remember to put your hand over the top when you're cutting. That's it, so you're not going to cut yourself or slip. Can you help me there, James?
That means I'm not doing...
Thumb on the blade.
Okay.
Right, so nose of the knife here.
Yeah.
Grab that hand and your knife goes down and forward, and the knife doesn't leave the board. Make contact with the board,
Okay.
and it goes forward as it goes down. Right, I'm going to put these pans on now, because you always cook when your pans are hot, not when they're cold.
Okay.
So you add your oil to the pan when it's hot, and then you use half the amount of oil, because it expands in heat. You only add more vegetable stock when you can see your liquid has gone.
Okay.
If you put too much liquid in, the rice is going to overexpand and it's going to taste a bit puddingy.
Okay.
So you just got to be patient with it. And try not to keep stirring, because you just drop the temperature of the pan and it will take twice as long as it needs to. Your fine pepper will give an even infusion, and your cracked black pepper just gives you a little surprise every now and again.
Okay.
Which is nice. We won't use salt until the end, in case your stock is salty enough.
Okay.
So we don't want to ruin the dish. Yeah. So we taste it.
If you're using water, then you can put some salt.
Yes. So you're going to start seasoning with both peppers, please. Now a pinch is 3 fingers and a thumb.
Okay.
Which is about half a teaspoon.
A pinch of each.
Yes, please. Okay, with the prawns, I've done one side for you. You can call it a vein, or you can call it its intestine, or you can call it something else if you want to. Yeah. You draw a line, and you just pull out the intestine. Now these prawns are tiger prawns, a warm water prawn, so they've also got the intestine running underneath. Can you see?
Yeah, yeah.
So you draw a line, and you just pull that out.
How did you make this look so easy? Because I'm struggling a little bit here.
I've already cleaned the squid for you. The squid has 2 membranes. One is the black membrane, which is quite obvious to see. You just scrape it off with a knife. But there's also a second membrane on the squid, which can make your squid quite chewy if you don't remove it. You're not going to know it's there unless you just score the skin. Okay, don't go right through. And then, this is his waterproof system. Where I've scored that skin, you just lift that up. You can take it off the heat just for a moment, because we're going to start tasting that now, to make sure you can taste every single ingredient you've used. Forget the texture.
Lena, this is amazing. I've never had a patty like this.
Take your squid, and I want you just to cut that into nice thin rings, not too thick, because this is going to cook in seconds. Let the knife do the work, James. Never leave the saw. Slide.
Yeah, don't stop showing off, Lena.
Red peppers in now, back on the heat. Red peppers, and just have half that bowl of peas, or actually 1 handful of those would be enough for you rather than having too many. You see that lovely colour coming through now?
Great, looks
So try not to over stir it at this stage, because you're going to release too much starch and make the rice too sticky.
I think it's perfect.
It is perfect. That really is excellent. Well done.
In your face.
Really bang on. Well done. You need a little bit more pepper. Yeah, just a tiny bit more pepper. Parsley is a soft herb, so you need to cut the stalks very fine. Most of the flavour is actually in the stalk.
I thought I would do worse than what I did, but we haven't tasted it yet, isn't it? So just put as much as I want. This is more organic looking, rough around the edges, and that means it's a lot more love has gone into it. A little bit.
I think he is. I think he is. Right, okay, so based on presentation, this is the better dish, because I can see the rice. Okay, so this was just positioned better, a lot more even ingredients. Now let's go for taste. Yeah.
Let's see.
Great texture, really good texture.
Does it need a little bit of salt, or it's fine?
Now I can taste everything's coming through well.
Now Lena, brace yourself.
Hands up on flavour.
Wow, well done.
Absolutely. Really well done. Your rice is slightly better texture as well, a little bit more nutty. And yeah,
I have no idea why, because I just followed your instructions, but somehow.
Oh boy, well done.
This is a good thing. It's teamwork. I get the presentation right, and he gets to cook the dish. How good is listen?
So I cook and you serve up the dish. Okay.
Okay. Before you eat it, guys, make sure you squeeze your lemon on top, and you're going to get massive impact.
And if you're watching us now, listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't cook, right? Like I told Anne, but I was very excited about doing this today, because I do enjoy cooking, even though I don't do it a lot, and I had a blast. And I think a lot of couples should try this.
Absolutely.
and get the competitive juices going. Don't just do it. Don't just do it for love. Do it for a little bit of competitiveness as well. But we had a lot of fun, right?
Yes, I loved it. I
Good.
mean, there were a few things we learned, like the squid, peeling the squid. How do you call that thing?
The membrane.
The membrane. I mean, it's just.
So now let's eat. So this is the final product. Don't forget to check out Anne's Smart School of Cookery, and happy cooking.